Right, we are tracking a major hit, meanwhile, coming for the bottom line of so many Americans. Healthcare prices set to skyrocket in the new year. More than 20 million Americans are on Obamacare, and just 4 days from now, ACA's premium subsidies set to expire, making care much more expensive. Without the tax credits, according to health policy organization KFF, these Americans will see their insurance costs more than double, a 114% increase on average. Congress left town last week without a health care deal. And while 4 Republican representatives teamed up with Democrats before the break to force a vote on the extension happening in the new year, the Senate Republicans say if it makes it to their side of the Capitol, it'll likely be dead on arrival. And this goes past the Affordable Care Act. Many Americans see the healthcare system as a whole as broken, with a majority unable to afford out-of-pocket medical costs, their monthly insurance premiums, even prescription drugs, according to that survey from KFF. So who is to blame for this mess? How do we fix it? To try to get to the bottom of these questions, we are now joined by Erik Wissig, health insurance expert, COO of SureCo. Erik, appreciate you being here tonight. Let's talk about this boulder rolling down the hill towards us. More than 90% of ACA enrollees going to see their premiums go up by hundreds of dollars in the new year. President Trump talking about the Affordable Care Act last week. He's calling it unaffordable. Let's take a quick listen together.
It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price.
Okay, so the president says he's trying to help Americans save money and see more choice in their health care system. Do you think the Republican proposed health care plan proposed by Speaker Johnson will actually do that?
I think there's potential that you could get a lot of benefit out of that, but I think the challenge is transition off of subsidies into a new program needs to be taken very seriously as to how you bring people off of the expanded subsidies that they've been receiving into a new program that has a very different structure.
I mean, we're talking about a transition. It's in 4 days. I mean, it is coming. Do we have a buffer or a transition in place, or are the people paying the price going to be these millions of Americans who see, hundreds more dollars just exiting their bank accounts?
No, absolutely. As it sits right now, you have a fall off, especially for certain people that were receiving expanded subsidies. And these are people that were right at that 400% of the federal poverty line. Those folks have a complete fall off of the subsidy they have been receiving over the past few years. And with that, you're going to see potentially $1,000 or more increase in their premium come a few days from now. A transition off of this subsidy would have mitigated some of that and allow a new program to come into place, but we don't have that yet.
Who failed here? Who failed these Americans who are going to be really impacted by this in just a few days?
I mean, the ultimate failure, if you look at it, is really a lack of ability for agreement, for a compromise to come into place. Some sort of combination of a reduction of subsidies potentially with a new program. Some of the proposals put out there by the Republican Party seem interesting. And the fact that we have not been able to find that compromise or that plan, and we're about to hit January, that's where I would say the difficulty lies.
When people see their bills go up, who is actually to blame the most for raising prices? Is it insurance companies? Is it healthcare providers? Is it Congress?
It's a combination of all of it. The insurance companies earlier this year, say, April, May, June, really realized they had to provide plans anticipating a variety of different situations, and specifically the subsidies going away. So given they had to really plan for what they knew, anticipate people to react and leave those plans, they had to increase their costs, they had to adjust. And then now that we're there, we don't have a solution. That is just the fall off that we're seeing. Providers have a similar, hand in this story where they're figuring out how to adjust their business model as the insurance companies adjust their pricing, as they adjust networks. And you just consistently have this, 8 to 10% medical inflation. But on top of that, this year, you have this uncertainty and the fall of the subsidies that have just put the average increases up above 20%. And then those people losing subsidy, it just multiplies it.
And we know about 31 million Americans are just going to be full-blown uninsured by 2027. A News Nation speaking to the Council for Affordable Healthcare Coverage President Joel White about where he sees the future of insurance costs. Let's listen to that together.
If current trends persist, by 2032, the typical American family will pay 40% of their premiums just on healthcare premiums. 40% of their income just on healthcare premiums. So that's not sustainable. The subsidies are a temporary fix. We've got a very expensive system subsidizing an expensive system.
This is wild. I mean, it makes you want to tear your hair out. Employer-sponsored insurance now costs nearly $27,000 a year for a family plan. What needs to be done?
You know, the big failure here is that the individual, the person that is actually buying the insurance is not really at the center of the decision of what plans are being put together. And until we have a system where the individual is enabled to purchase a plan that fits them and knows where to access and how to make changes in order to get the right care, until we have that system in place, we're going to see some very difficult and challenging years. But there is opportunity for us to move to that. We do see that, and we do see, and what we do is move employers to an individual-based model known as an individual coverage health reimbursement arrangement. It is very much driving people into the individual market, healthy people that can stabilize the individual market and enable us to get to a better place.
If you could wave a wand and change just one policy in the next year that would lower costs for the most number of people, what would it be?
Oh, man, if you could lower costs, I mean, right now, you really need that transition off of the subsidies. If they can find an extension that may push it a year to 2 years to enable the Republicans to bring in some of these more consumer-based programs, such as the expansion of the HRA model, and then allow an HSA to support payment of premium, especially in the individual market, would be fantastic to see.
It would be, but Congress left town last week without a deal. It's tough, and it's a complicated issue. Erik Wissig, I appreciate your time and perspective tonight. Thank you.